I had my little cat when I lived before I moved to Los Angeles. I had a little cat. I don't know if I told you that story about that cat. She was an outdoor cat and she took off. Oh, I don't know. She was gone and I was sad. I didn't know what happened. She was such an amazing little cat.
Right.
And she never came back one time. And I was like, oh, did she get killed? Because I lived on a main street.
Right. Right.
And yeah. And so I I never put a collar on her because I didn't want anything to inhibit her ability to hunt in the
Right.
event that she had gotten stranded or something.
Right. Right.
So what happened was I decided to move to Los Angeles, and this is odd. 3 days before I moved to Los Angeles, she came back.
Wow.
Yeah. And she stayed with me the whole time.
Right.
And she had a collar on and the tag had an address on it. And she was actually staying right down the street. And I never realized it.
My God.
So somebody thought that she was a stray because she didn't have a collar and obviously started to feed her. So she kind of figured, well, hey, I'll just hang out here. I like it here. And never came back. But she came back 3 days before I moved and stayed with me for the last 3 days I was there.
Right. Well, because it's so funny because the thing about cats is they know they're much more I mean, dogs are just, they put it right out there. They're like hanging around. They're always, oh, I love you, human, and all this stuff. But cats are equally as bonded, but they're just very subtle in the way they show their love and expression, and when you read it, it's amazing. Like this guy is such a hunter too. He's literally like, it's amazing. He was like, we'll see him in the corner and, he'll be looking for something. And then we'll see that, he had like neutralized, he had given the death swipe to a water bug or some kind of bug. And it's just sitting there and it's twitching and he's just watching it, Yeah. I mean, but he's such an amazing hunter. He's literally, it's insane how good of a hunter he is.
Well, that's in them, man. That is in their DNA.
Absolutely.
My cat would hunt all the time, and she'd bring the stuff in, but alive. So there'd be birds flying around, chipmunks running around. One time she brought this huge moth in. I'm like, no. She's stepping through the cat door with this huge moth and she lets it go. But I'll tell you, here's how it was for her. For a cat, this is thrilling. Like, hey, look at this I got for you, or however they think.
Absolutely how they think. They're like, look, I brought this for you.
Exactly. And they think it's just great. And they think he's just going to love it. But I'll tell you what, she caught on that I didn't love it. And you know what? She stopped.
Really?
Yeah, she stopped.
That's interesting.
She was that kind of cat because when I was married, my ex-wife didn't want the cat in the bed. So she picked up on it and says, okay. And then she never got in the bed. And then after I got separated, she still didn't get in the bed.
Wow.
But if I laid on the couch and if I slept on the couch, she'd jump right up on the couch. So it wasn't like she didn't want to get up with me, but she just knew that they don't like that. So I'm not going to do that anymore. That's the kind of cat she was. Which is really amazing. She was such an amazing little cat.
Yeah, they're great. They're amazing creatures. So what happened to her after you were what happened after the last 3 days after you move.
Well, I assume that she went back home to her new home.
right.
I can, which actually worked out better because I wasn't going to bring her across the country. So what was I going to do with her? Well, she already found someplace else. Which, hey, I mean, as psychic as that was to come back the last 3 days, who knows if she didn't foresee that I was leaving and found another place because she thought, hey, he's not going to stay.
That was actually my thought just before you said it.
Actually, it just dawned on me just now.
Yeah.
I never thought of that, but that's even a possibility.
Oh, that's totally a possibility because they're so in tune with their people, and their ability to intuit, cats even more so than dogs.
Yeah, I agree. But dogs are pretty intuitive too, but cats
are on another level.
I think that cats, well, what I heard is that cats like psychic phenomena. Dogs don't. Dogs don't. Dogs kind of freak out. They'll start barking and stuff, but cats kind of really like it.
Yeah,
unless it's a Pekingese. I mean, Pekingese dogs actually like psychic phenomena, but most dogs don't. I think Pekingese were brought up in a psychic environment. If you know anything about Peking, it was the center of black magic for years, man. And they had black magicians there sending out their divisive energy to the West, or energy of confusion. Yeah, that was happening in Peking for a long time, which is an interesting thing.